Welcome back everyone to American Truck Simulator. In our most recent video, we upgraded our garage located in Las Vegas to its maximum size. So it now has the full 5 bays open, and we were able to purchase an additional truck as well and hire that driver. Now we have one slot available for one more truck and one more driver, and if you see on the right hand side of the screen, we have $134,000. That should be enough to get us what we need. So let's go ahead under the truck manager, go into the truck dealers, and we're going to keep this pretty simple. And we're just going to go to the Kenworth dealership. I'm going to buy online, and we're going to pick up, let's see, let's go ahead and get the T680. That's what we've been using for all of these. This one, the W900 is actually a little bit cheaper, but we'll go ahead and stick with the 680. No need for custom configuration. Doesn't really matter. We'll probably never see these trucks anyway, so doesn't really matter what they look like, and I don't think it has a whole lot of effect on the AI anyway. So we're not going to spend any extra money that we don't have to. So we're going to put it into the final slot here in our Las Vegas garage. All right, there we go. Now we're down to $17,000. So we need to go and hire a driver. All right, let's see what we've got. And the answer is not much. So everybody's at 0.8. And there's not a whole lot to be had here. Yikes. In fact, I mean, this is just downright pitiful. I was hoping that we would have some more. I mean, granted, we haven't unlocked nearly all of the possibilities for hiring agencies, but goodness gracious. All right, so what I'm seeing is basically, I think Alicia is our best choice, simply because she has one skill point already in distance, and then she's got one in hazardous. So the one in distance helps us. Yvonne over here does not have any distance, but she's got a couple of others. So really either one of those are probably going to come out about the same, but we'll go with the distance. And we'll hire Alicia, and we'll drop her into our available truck. There we go. $1,500 for the hiring fee. Now we need to come in under the driver manager, and we need to take a look. Let's go ahead and start at the very top with Scarlett. High value cargo. She is actually full on everything but that. And then, of course, we got to get to hazardous at some point. But other than that, she's doing pretty good. Okay, this gives her a lot of jobs that are available, and you can see she's about $1,700 per day. Then we get to Christian. He's working his way up through hazardous cargo right now. Everything else is more or less unlocked. We still got a little bit of just in time to unlock, but I'm letting him work on the hazardous cargo. And then Philip, same thing. Unlocking the hazardous cargo, then we'll get him into the distance, and then high value, and so on. So a lot of work to go for Philip, but he's certainly on the way. Now for Alicia, I think what we want to do is let's go ahead and do high value here. And then we'll just work our way down through here, and then we'll come back at the end and let her work on the hazardous last. All right, so I think that is everything we need to do. I think I'm happy with where everybody is. Again, Philip is still not making near as much money as the other two, but that's okay. He's brand new, and the biggest thing holding him back is probably the distance. He can't go very far, so that hurts his ability to make profit. But if we pull up his log, you can see he's had a few jobs that aren't too terribly bad, a few that made him over 1,000. So we'll certainly take that. Only one time did he come back with an empty load. So far, so good. And as we get him more leveled up, he'll have more options and should be making us quite a bit more money. So that's going to do it for our Las Vegas HQ. The next time we're ready to expand our company, we will actually need to look at the map. Let's see. I guess we're going to have to go back out and go to the world map. So on the world map, there are several locations. So what we'll probably end up doing is, as we continue on, we already have one in Vegas. I'll probably try to get somewhere over in this neighborhood. Reno's not a bad spot to choose. LA, I can't wait to get over to LA and get a location there. Over here in Tucson is also a good opportunity. We're trying to spread these out a little bit. And then, of course, as the game goes on, eventually you're just going to want to fill up every available slot. But so far, so good. And we'll see where it works out that we go to next. But before we do that, we're going to slow down our expansion for a little bit, and we're going to focus on two things. Number one, we're going to try to upgrade our truck. We're going to try to get maybe a little bit better paint scheme if they're not too expensive, rather than this just plain blue. But we're going to try to do some upgrades to the truck, more powerful engine, better transmission. You get the idea. The chassis, we need to improve the chassis for heavier cargo, all sorts of things that we need to do. And that's essentially going to cost us what we would spend in a brand new truck. That's kind of the way that will work out. In fact, a little bit more probably we'll end up spending than what we would normally spend on a new truck. So we'll get into that. And then also, I want to go ahead and take care of that debt. So we've got that debt that's really crippling us on a day-by-day basis as far as how it relates to our payment versus how much money we're getting in return from our AI drivers. It's nowhere close to evening out, much less turning a profit for us. So we want to get rid of that as well, and then we'll get back into expanding. Now, at the rate we're going, we're able to make a good amount of money. And what I'm referring to is, if you look, of course, right now we only have the one garage, so it's pretty easy. But you can see our daily profit is just under $32,000. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all, and certainly something that I can live with. But for right now, we need to actually get on the road. Let's go ahead and start earning some money. Let's see what kind of quick jobs are available. All right, 42, almost 43. Wow, look at that drive. That is that's about as straight of a road as you're probably going to get. 405 miles. I like that one. Let's just go ahead and do that. We're going to be taking some pesticides. Looks like from Chevron. So let's go ahead and pick that up. But we just keep plodding away at this, and it looks like we got a little bit of rain, and that's excellent because I don't know how to turn on the windshield wipers, so we're going to have to go and look. All right, windshield wipers, where are you? It's been a long time since I had to turn on the windshield wipers in this game. There we go. It is the P key. And we're not going to mess with trying to change that around. So, all right, so we got our first issue taken care of. All right, here we go. Let's get our lights turned on. And I believe we're going this direction, but I can see practically nothing. All right, so we're just going to try to feel our way through. Oh, there's a little bit of lightning. And all right, can we make it through here? I'm going to try to give as much room as I can. We cannot see anything out of this left side window. That is certainly not good. All right, let's go ahead and, for the time being, let's go ahead and toggle the mirrors a little bit here. And that way I won't have to worry so much about left and right as far as on my clearances. All right, so let's take a quick look with the mouse. And it looks like we need to go to the left. I really enjoy these quick jobs. As nice as it is to make the profit from having your own equipment, the quick jobs are just so nice because I don't have to worry about my location. Doesn't matter where my last job ended. I can always hop into a quick job anywhere on the map, and no travel time, no real issues to be concerned with. And that is a great benefit because there are some great jobs that are available in the freight market, but you might not be anywhere near the area for the pickup. So that really doesn't help anything. All right, so our virtual mirrors that we have up here is simply just going to help me out from having to make all the cabin adjustments that I would normally have to make to be able to see my mirrors. I've grown accustomed to using the right side virtual mirror, but now we'll turn on the left side, as that should help us out quite a bit and save us some time. Alright, so far so good on the windshield wipers. I'm not sure if there are multiple speeds. Let's hope we don't have to need that, because if we need it, then I don't know what that's. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and hop over into the lane. And let's see. No, we are not here. We are going to turn at the other red light just ahead. After missing our exit in the last video, I'm now hypersensitive to where we were supposed to be turning, because I don't want to have any more days like that. I have enough of those days, I feel like, anyway. I certainly don't want to add to it if I can keep from it. Alright, so these guys are... Is there a reason why they're trying to block my path? I don't see that there's that much traffic ahead of them, at least not that I can tell. I'm not sure what's going on here. We're just going to take it as... Oh, of course. Of course. Now he goes. It turns green for me, and now he takes off. Alright, so the UPS guy is now out of our way, and we're off and running. So by default, the rain probability in this game is fairly low, which explains why I haven't seen any of it in this particular playthrough, which is why it surprised me. And I hadn't even thought to look and see what the mappings were for the windshield wipers. I haven't had a chance to look about any mods related to the weather in this game. I know for the Euro Truck Simulator, there was all sorts of mods related to that. I mean, you could make it snow, you had seasons, you had all sorts of stuff that you can do. I'm not sure if those have migrated over to American Truck Simulator as well. Who knows? I might have to look into that a little bit later on. But let's face it, I don't need anything to make my driving more difficult. I need to stay as basic as I can. Alright, let's go ahead and let's see. Why will it not tell me? Only certain models will actually tell me the cruise speed that we have set. It looks like we're probably at 55 is my guess. Just from listening to the engine. Alright, I gave it one bump. That should get us up to 60. Then I'm going to go 2 more times to go 65 and 70. We'll see if that gets us up to 70, and then whether or not we want to go to the full 75, assuming that's available in this particular truck, based on the load that we have. Yeah, that's one of the good things about the model truck that we do own, is that it tells you exactly what speed you have set for the cruise control. This one, it might show me somewhere, but I haven't seen it yet. It gives me a green icon to tell me that cruise control is on, but that's pretty much it. It doesn't really tell me anything about any further information. So we're going to see what we get up to. We know it's at least 65. Alright, so far so good. We're used to having to go a little bit below the speed limit simply because of the horsepower in our truck currently. Alright, so we're approaching 70, so that would tell me that... Let's see if the engine cuts out at 70. Well, it hasn't cut out yet, but we're also not gaining speed either. Hopefully it'll stay at 75 for the speed limit for the foreseeable future. That would be nice. And hopefully we won't have any traffic issues like I've seen recently in the game. It just seems like the more, the deeper I get into this playthrough, the more issues I'm noticing with the AI. They just don't want to go the speed limit. Sometimes I'm noticing that they'll go anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour under the speed limit. And I'm not even talking about the tractor trailers going under the speed limit. I'm talking about just the normal traffic, and which is boggling my mind that that would be happening. All right, I'm going to slow down to 65 and see if that keeps us. No, we're still gaining on these guys. All right, once again, I'm not sure why, because the speed limit is 75. We should not be catching these guys going 65 to 70. Maybe they drive differently out west than we do here in the south, but I kind of doubt it. Maybe they just drive a little bit slower, but I kind of doubt it. Or at least not voluntarily driving slower. Alright, so 65 is still too fast. I'm trying to slow it down to 60 and see if that will be enough. I mean, it's barely raining, so we can't say that it's a thunderstorm, so you need to drive slower. So right now we just have an artificial governor on the truck, and it is keeping our speed well below 75. Alright, now we're going to bump it back up to 65. Trying to keep an eye out on the bottom right hand corner, which is where we're going to see our next turn. Of course, we're nowhere near our destination. We're about 300 miles out from our destination. Looks like we're going to get there around noontime. Thereabouts. After I've had a little bit of time to get used to the mod, we took a look at those in our last video at the very beginning. And the biggest one of those that we're actually seeing in the game right now is the real company logos. You notice you can just barely see in the bottom right hand corner there's a Best Buy logo, there's Walmart down there, and you're also going to see those trucks and trailers as we are driving around from time to time. You'll see things like, I believe Target is out here included, Tesla is included. Tesla is a little different because in game it's actually like a parts store, but I'm glad to see anytime we can get some real companies added into the game, even if it's not an exact fit for the type of business, I'm all for it. It's nice to see some familiar names and logos when you're playing the game. Makes it feel a little bit different whenever you're doing a delivery to Walmart as opposed to a fictional company. Alright, so far so good. Now, of course, we're speeding, but that's okay. We're still in revenge mode toward the game for giving us a speeding ticket that I felt was so unjustly earned. Plus, it was way too expensive, too. That was no fun at all. It was over $1,000 for being 2 miles over the speed limit. Alright, so it looks like our rain is off. So it looks like I've also just determined, as I hit the wiper key again, that speeds it up. So now that answers that question. So we're learning stuff today. Maybe not the stuff that we wanted to learn, but we're learning nonetheless. All right, 253 miles remaining in our journey, and once again, we should be there about noontime. No more rain. Certainly doesn't look like we're going to run into any anytime soon. So we're free and clear right now. Let's go ahead and turn our lights off. I'm kind of like leaving those on. I've gotten used to, in real life, the driving lights staying on, so I'm used to just leaving them on in the game as well. Also helps on the dash. If if you're looking down at the dash to see any of the information, then it helps there as well. All right, so we're cruising right along, 65 miles an hour. And yes, I'm staying in the left-hand lane. Just trying to stay away from the AI as much as I can. I've learned that that's probably my best bet. I love having the AI. I really have no interest in turning them off because then we'd just be out here all by ourselves, and that just doesn't work for me. That's no fun. We want some traffic on the roads, but boy, it is very trying sometimes when the AI make turns directly into you as if you're not even there, which of course damages the car and costs you money. So that's no fun. So I'm just trying to stay away from them, and one of the easiest ways to stay away from them is just stay over here in this left-hand lane and not worry about being close to them. Looks like in the bottom right-hand corner we got some income, $1,100 from Phillips. All right, very nice. That's a good amount of profit for him given the short distances he can travel right now. So I'll certainly take that. That's why long distance is so important, particularly as you progress in the game. Once you get up to about probably 3 skill points there, you've gone about as far as you're going to be able to go for the most part. I'm sure there are a few jobs that you won't have access to that might go from like edge to edge on the map, but other than that, you pretty much got every job. And we'll see how things go in the future. If they continue expanding with more DLC and more states, then maybe there'll be a reason to continue upgrading on the distance. But for right now, 2 or 3 seems to cover most anything that you're ever going to need. All right, I like it. Nice and calm so far on this drive. That's exactly what I'm looking for. We're making good time at 65 miles an hour. Again, part of our revenge tour. Oh, we got more income. Only $523 from Christian. That's not good from him because he has distance skill points that have been applied as well as several other things. So that is not what we want to see under his profit. $400, $500, $600 amounts under the profit is only good if you're doing 3 to 4 missions per day or deliveries per day. Otherwise, that just kills your daily profit. I am really looking forward to getting quite a few levels on our AI drivers and just seeing how profitable they can ultimately be. Because so far, they're not able to pay for themselves. I mean, we would be better off, spending money upgrading our own truck rather than trying to upgrade our HQ or upgrade or purchase anything for the AI. It's just not worth it at this point early in the game. But one of the aspects of this game that I love as much as anything is the ability to build a company and over time go from just you being the only driver to now we're having, we have a total of 5 drivers, 4 AI and then ourselves. Then over time that will become 10 and then 15 and so on. And as you go, the snowball definitely builds momentum and gets bigger because you're earning more and more money per day. And assuming that you're not racking up a lot of debt, your profit continues to increase at a steady rate to the point where money no longer is really an issue. You're searching for ways to spend money at some point. Looks like Philip got us some more income, $298. Again, that's expected from him for right now. As long as he just keeps running 3, 4, or more jobs per day, I'm perfectly happy with that for the time being. The main thing for me right now is not so much their income, but them leveling up, because that's what's going to help us in the future. I mean, right now we've got plenty of money coming in just from the jobs that we're doing. All right, we're closing in on 100 miles remaining, currently sitting at just under 140. So it's nice just to be able to, that's a beautiful trailer, by the way. Farm. Very beautiful trailer. I like that. A big part of me really would like to create a custom paint scheme for the Knee Pit Gaming, but the rest of me is saying no. We can't afford to put that kind of time into it. We've got other things that we need to be doing in real life rather than painting our virtual truck. So that's why I'm always on the lookout for any mods for paint schemes in this game. We have one currently, but it doesn't unlock until level 20. So we still got a little bit more work to do before we can get there. So for right now, we're stuck with more of the basic, and hopefully in the future, uh-oh, look out, do not come over here. Normally whenever they swap over to the left-hand lane, which is what I was worried he was going to do, normally whenever they swap over, they also slow down a little bit when they do it, which was going to cause me to have to probably tap the brake and lose all our momentum, and that is certainly not something I wanted to do. You can see we've already lost enough. Just coming up that hill, we're down to 53 miles an hour from 65. Alright, the engine in this truck has a weird sound to it right now. Okay, this is the Volvo. I wasn't sure. I had to move the camera down to see what kind of truck we were actually driving this time. So we're in a Volvo. I'm not a big fan of the Volvos in game. Just the look of them just doesn't appeal to me any whatsoever. Once again, staying in this left-hand lane, trying to avoid the AI as much as possible. Nice to see those palm trees. Alright, we are now officially under 100 miles remaining, into the 80s now. And looks like we're going to be getting off at this next exit, and of course this car is coming right up next to us. We're going to let it go so that we can jump over into the exit lane. Alright, love these exit ramps that are on the hill. More income in the bottom right hand corner. Philip is busy. He's getting it done right now. Not huge amounts, but he's certainly staying busy. Alright, right now I'm trying to not roll backwards. Can't see if there's anybody behind us on the regular mirror, but the virtual mirror shows that, yeah, we got quite a line forming. So we certainly do not want to run into anybody. Let's get up here. Nice of them to put that tree in our way so we can't see around it. Alright, so we made it through there without incident. Alright, speed limit 30 down through here. We're going to try to adhere to that, or at least pretty close. Alright, Syntex over here on the right. I'm not sure if that's a real company or not. It certainly sounds like it could be a real company, chemical company, something like that. And I'm pretty sure I just saw that crane moving up ahead just before it went out of sight. Maybe that was an optical illusion, but it did seem like it was moving. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get any more glances at it. No. If we're going to be turning and headed the opposite direction. All right, so 70 miles remaining, which in real distance would take you quite a while. But here in game time, it will not take long at all. Let's go ahead and move over into the other lane and at least get into the center lane. Actually, wouldn't mind taking that Los Angeles route, but that is not where we're headed right now. All right, let's turn the cruise on. See if we can get up to about 60. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to that. More income. Yikes. Philip, is this man driving multiple trucks? He is... I mean, he must be just driving around Vegas. It must be what he's doing, just making deliveries back and forth still in Vegas, because he is doing this very quickly. I know the time in the game moves a lot faster than real life, but my goodness. So he's going to try to make his daily income for us in very small bites. All right, at this point, 45 miles out, I am looking for our exit. I'm looking to see where we're going to be headed off the interstate, because it's bound to be coming pretty soon, because we're running out of miles to go. Wow, one thing you have to be ready for with these big rigs is traffic going by you as if you're sitting still. That is a very hard thing to get used to. Oh, I see Walgreens up ahead on the right on the mini-map. I wasn't aware Walgreens was in the game, so very nice. I like that. So this mod has turned out to be, the real company logo mod has turned out to be a very nice addition for me. And so far I haven't noticed that it's given me any glitches or issues whatsoever. So I think we're all set, and we'll continue using that one. That'll give me the freedom to look for the next mod that we might get. I would not mind having some additional trucks in the game. You don't have a huge selection of trucks in the game by default, so I wouldn't mind adding some additional trucks in there that we might test out and add to our fleet. But for right now, one of the other reasons why I like doing the quick jobs is it gives me a chance to drive some different trucks. In this case, we're in a Volvo, and I've pretty much determined that I'm not a huge fan of the Volvo, so we're probably not going to be purchasing any Volvos anytime soon. All right, here we go. We are about to exit as we're flying down this hill. Oxnard. Okay, so we haven't been here before. Okay, well, that didn't sound familiar. Global Mills. I've seen that several times. Not sure if that was supposed to be General Mills, maybe, and wasn't included as part of the mod. We go. So I believe that's, what is it, ADM? I've made multiple deliveries to ADM. I actually like doing those deliveries because they're for farming supplies. So farming equipment, farming, again, not sure if that is a real life company or if that's another one of the the fake companies used in the game, but I certainly like doing their deliveries either way. All right, looks like we're actually delivering to a shipyard here, or a rail yard rather. All right, let's hop in here and see what the easy delivery is going to be for us. Hopefully it won't be anything too big. It might just be pulling right up there to the right. We've seen that a lot. Actually, it's pretty close. All right, so where is the unloading area? Oh, it's right there. Okay. I couldn't see that. Didn't know where it was that I was supposed to go. And once again, they've got a worker very nearby. He might want to move back a few steps just for his own personal safety. Oh, I didn't realize until I just looked behind us, our trailer was not very straight at all. So we're going to try to straighten this up and come back at this a different way. All right, there we go. All right, that should be far enough. If this doesn't work, we'll simply skip it because the XP isn't all that big of a deal. Look at that, we're not going to make it again. Nope, we made it. We made it, just barely. But again, it's just not that much XP. It's generally worth doing simply because it doesn't take very much time or effort to complete. But you can see, you're looking at a 15 XP bonus, so it's, compared to the other XP you're getting, is certainly nothing to worry about. All right, that got us almost to level 15. Not quite there, but almost. All right, so that takes care of our next mission. We are now full in our Las Vegas HQ. That'll do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our gameplay series of American Truck Simulator.